Hello everybody, this is Cerat once again. It's been a while and I apologize. I'm back here with some Final Fantasy XIV. I promised I'd get some content up on my channel and I'm going to. So first thing I'm going to do, show you this is the starting menu, everything like that, but I'm going to jump right in and show you the character creation as well. This is going to be the first video. This is actually taken after launch. I wasn't able to get anything from the beta. I was actually locked out of the open beta for quite a long time due to the massive spread error 3102 that happened at the time, but that finally got taken care of sometime around early access, but I wasn't able to play as much as I wanted during that time either. So let's get into this and I'll show you the character creation and everything. Alright, as we can see, this is actually my character right now. It's Mikote, Keeper of the Moon. Right now I'm just trying to level up some of my gathering classes because the unique thing about this is you can be any class at any time you want. So, we're going to go into the character creation and let's see what we got. As you can see, you get an option to load appearance data. You can click that or not if you're playing on the PlayStation 3. Or if you're playing on the PC. If you're playing on the PlayStation 3, you will have had to create a character before though. But if you have the PC version, you can download the character creation benchmark, test it out, see if it'll even run on your computer, and you can import that character data right into the game. But for now, just so I can show you all the options and everything, I'm going to do this without loading the data. Alright, as we can see, there's 5 different races. You got the Hyur, the Elizin, the Lalafell, the Mikote, and the Rogadin. And all of them actually have male and female options. So you can play whatever you want. The Hyur male and female, there's no difference between gender stat-wise, but like if we go into this, say the Hyur, click confirm here. You look at the different clans you got. You got the Highlander down here, and you got the Midlander. The Highlander a little more tough. If you look at the stats on the left side, starting attributes, strength, dexterity, vitality, intellect, mind, and piety. Or piety, however you want to pronounce that. And the strength for the Midlanders is actually lower starting than the Highlanders. That is 23 for them. Same with their vitality. It's not a massive point difference, only a couple points, and as it's been reported by the producer of the game, Naoki Yoshida, it's not going to really make a difference towards the end game. So I'm going to show you the Midlander here first. You can start with the males and see what we got here. So each one has a different preset as well, as you can see. The Midlander, it tends to be a little scrawnier. The Highlander tends to be taller and more chiseled kind of thing. So let's get into it. Now, as you can see, there's a height slider. There's a lot of options over here. Like you can change the muscle tone like here. That's the next option. You can go from chiseled to very smooth depending on how you want your character to look. So it can either have a lot of definition on it or it can be very undefined. Height is nice because it actually has like an approximate inches or centimeters depending on what region your game is from. So I mean, it's nice to know just around how tall the minimum and maximum is of the character you're making. It's generally like a 5-6 inch range, maybe a little more depending on some of the taller classes like the Elizin and the Rogadin. But anyways, just go ahead and slide that all the way up. And somewhere around there. And then you've also got a bunch of different skin tone options. And this is going to be the same for all of them. The only differences I will show you will be from the Duskwight, Elizin, and the Keepers of the Moon, Mikote. They have different skin options and than the normal ones. This is what you're going to find for all the other classes, or I mean, excuse me, races. Rogadin are also an exception, so I'll show those as well. Otherwise, a lot of these options you're going to see are going to be the same for every race, including hairstyles. A lot of the hairstyles are the same right now. The differences, I will show those as well. Okay, here we got the different hairstyles. As you can see, some of them on the PC version are kind of really... You can kind of see the stretching of the textures there. That's going to be fixed once they get the DirectX 11 textures in here, but for right now you can kind of see the stretch part of them. But you do have a nice variety for the most part. There are a few that don't change much, like this one it's just the different parts. This, it's pretty much the same but a longer version of some of the other styles. This one, they're all of them fit a different style. And I mean, this one you just have a little more hair than this one. And this is especially prevalent with the female hairstyles, which I will also show. So just pick a random one like that one. And then you've also got your hair colors, and you can have unnatural to natural hair colors, and like black or any of that, or even blondes kind of thing. It all depends on how you want it, and you can even have highlights like this one. You can see where the highlights are. I'll just leave it white, that way it stands out. Let's go black and white, that way it stands out a little bit more. But each of the hairstyles, if we go back to that, has a different highlights pattern, which makes it a little bit nice. It has a bunch of variety in there, and you can choose to not even put highlights in if you don't want. So let's see here, and then I'll just leave it like that. And then face. Now face, it does kind of matter which one you choose depending on what kind of style you want for your character to have. Like, for example, not all the faces actually allow for facial hair. Like this one, I do not believe actually allows for facial hair. Like, if we go down, I'm actually interested in where it would be. Not there. Just confirm that. Give me just a second, I'll find it. Oh, no, I was wrong. This one actually does allow facial hair as well. So, depending on the face you have, for some of the classes though, you won't be able to have the facial hair. But it's really nice that this one in particular does have a facial hair for all the male options if you want. And then, like, if you go here, if you hit confirm, it'll just automatically go through this list in order. So, or you can just click in any order you want. But then you can choose the jaw types. There's generally 4 different jaw types for each race and each face type. So it'll be a little bit different depending on the faces that you make. So let's see here, and you got different eye shapes as well. You can have the squinty eyes, or you can have the bigger eyes. And then you can also have the irises be large or small. Not much of a size difference for them, but it's still noticeable. And then you can also, now this is a nice feature also, you can have odd eyes, 2 different colored eyes. Like, say I want blue and black, I can have that, or yellow and purple, or orange and brown. You can have any of these combinations of eyes that you want, or you can just stick with one color as well. Again, it's all up to your personal preference. And then you've also got different types of eyebrows. You can have them look more mean looking, or just more relaxed or bushier or whatever. The eyebrow type varies between even face types. So then you've got the different noses. You can have crooked noses, you can have straight noses, you can have fat noses, you can have a combination. And then mouth, generally, just changes the shape of the lips. And even for guys, if you want, you can add color to it, dark or light, whatever you want. And then you've also got the beard, mustache, and you can also add a variety of scars. Now, what's available is dependent on the face type that you choose, as well as the race and clan combination. There's not many differences, but the customization is a little limited in that respect. And also these tattoos. You can get these. These are also race and clan dependent. Like, you're not going to find these on an Elysian. You'll have different ones for them. You're not going to find these on a Highlander either. These are, if I remember correctly, Midlander specific. And you can put them on and change their colors as well. But I'm going to leave that off for now. But then you've got different face paint options you can have. Now these are defaulted to an orange color, but you can change it if you want. Like you can go for the whole Braveheart look, or go for any of these other like varieties, and even silly face paints like a Chocobo Chick, you know. Or you can just have nothing. There's even blush or eyeshadow, but then you can also choose the color if you chose anything. And now here's where this doesn't matter as much, but it's what you'll be hearing when your character like casts abilities or takes damage or anything like that. It's just the voice type, or even from the emotes, which is why it has a selection of emotes here. Like, you can have higher pitched voices, or you can have deeper voices as well. It's kind of cool, actually. There's a lot of different voices. Some of them sound very similar. My favorite way to tell them apart is by using this cheer emote right here. This actually shows the difference between how high and deep each of the voices are. Better in my opinion. I mean, some people do the anger one. It's just generally a grunt of sorts. So it's not really helpful. This one's generally one of the longer sounded emotes, so stick with that one. And then after you're done with that, you're all done creating how your character looks. If this is how you want it after looking it over, and you can even change the environment it's in just to see how it looks in the actual game world. This is how it would look in the game world, the actual lighting. Like you go into the Gridanian Forest here, after the Lost Snowskin Sea, or even to the deserts of Thanalan. See how they all look, and you can even have a Gridanian residence here as well. And if you're outside, you can even change the time of day from midday to evening, see how it looks in the dark kind of thing. And you can also see how they look in poses, and their racial small clothes, well, racial clothes or small clothes. And then if you're happy with how it looks, just hit confirm, and you can choose to save the appearance data if you want. I will, just for the heck of it. Okay, data saved. And this one, this is the calendar you can choose. This is roughly correlates to our calendar. Like, you can look at it, it'll actually say the different days. Like, the 32nd day is actually the 31st if you were to compare it to our month of January. And there will be a couple of days here, yeah, the 28th and 29th, which share the same day in our time. So, I mean, you can base it off your character really as much as you want. And this, as far as I know, does not actually make any difference whatsoever. It's just a nice little feature. And this one, this is choosing the patron deity of your character. Now, there's not really a major difference between it, but you do get different elemental bonuses. Like if you look at this one, you've got 50 for fire, 54 for ice, 53 for wind, 52 for earth, 52 for thunder, and then 52 for water as well. And you switch it up here, and it's 50 for fire, 54 for ice, 53 for wind, and then 52 for the rest. So it's just minor differences here and there kind of thing, sort of like the racial bonuses. And I mean, it has a little description of all the gods and goddesses as well, so if you want to read those over and see which one just you feel fits you better kind of thing, or your play style better, you know, it's entirely up to you how you think it will suit you. And like I said, these are only really minor bonuses, so just go there. Now here's where things get different, because your starting city is actually dependent on the class you choose to start. So you'll have Gladiator, Pugilist, and Thaumaturge here, all starting in the city of Ul'dah. And then you have Marauder and Arcanist starting in Limsa Luminsa. Then Conjurer, Archer, and Lancer will all be in Gridania. So depending on where you want to start, for about the first 15 levels, you are going to be unless you want to take the dangerous walk to another city-state, you are going to be confined to, say, choose Archer, you're going to be in Gridania. That's just going to be how it is, unfortunately. But that's how it is. They just did it this way because that's where the guilds for each of the classes are. So, like, if you go with Marauder, the Marauder guild is going to be in Limsa. If you go with Gladiator, it's going to be in Ulda. And they just did it so it was kind of... The way it was originally was you could choose whatever city you wanted, but you couldn't actually go to the guild easily at first. So they just kind of, like, simplified it a little bit. And then you've also got... I'll explain these classes quick. Gladiator is more of a tank class if you look at it. And it's also, you can also check out the job class. Like, this one's going to be a paladin. This is the what's called artifact armor of paladins. This is going to be the same appearance for everybody that gets the artifact gear. Now, as a paladin, you're not going to be wearing this gear right away. This is higher level gear. And then Pugilist is going to go into a monk. Marauder is going to be a warrior. Marauder and Gladiator right now are the only tank class. So Paladin and Warrior are going to be your only tanks once you get to higher levels for right now. Pugilist is going to be the monk, which is a damage. Lancer goes to Dragoon, which is also damage. Archer is kind of like a mix between damage and support. Because once you become a bard, you start learning songs, which help support like MP costs of your party mates and TP costs and everything like that. So they're kind of like an odd mix between the support and the damage class, but they're mainly damage. Conjurer goes to White Mage, which is the traditional healer of Final Fantasy. Thaumaturge goes to Black Mage, also a damage dealer. And now another oddball here is going to be Arcanist. Arcanist can go to either Summoner or Scholar for right now. So Summoner is going to be your traditional damage class. You're going to be able to summon what are called Eggies in this version, which is basically like smaller versions of the primals of the game, which they'll be able to summon. They're going to be significantly smaller in size, and they don't exactly look like the summons either. It's kind of different from how it would normally be traditionally in Final Fantasy. Scholar, on the other hand, gets entirely different summons. They get fairies. They're the healer class that comes from Arcanist. They specialize in, if I remember correctly, I haven't actually gotten one myself, but they specialize in AoE healing and buffs. So they specialize in healing your friends in an area, your party members in an area, and they also specialize in giving bonuses to your party members. If I'm remembering this correctly, I can't entirely say for sure, unfortunately, and I wish I could actually show the job gear for the Scholar as well, but this is going to be the job gear for the Summoner. But all in all, that's going to be it for the character creation for right now. I'll have to put these up in separate videos just due to the fact that my internet doesn't like file sizes too big. But this is going to be the male Hyur character creation video. So once you do that, you can just hit confirm and choose what world you want it on. As you can see, there are going to be some grayed out ones. A lot of grayed out ones, especially on the NAEU group, because we just have a massive population. Even the Japanese group, from time to time, gets a lot of worlds that are locked down from character creation. Right now, it's not too bad, but earlier, and this is going to be like 6 or 7 hours ago from the time of this recording, like all of these were just grayed out. You could not create a single character on the JP server group. But there's going to be, especially right now while they're still trying to improve things, there will be a lot of servers that are locked down from character creations. These will change throughout the day. They'll periodically relax and then reimpose restrictions. But servers like Hyperion, which is the only server that I'm currently on, that one's been locked down basically since the beginning. It did get unlocked a couple of times today, but it's kind of it's kind of up in the air whether or not that will be the fate of it forever, is to be locked down. But as you can see, there's some that say Legacy. Those are for characters that 1.0, the original game, that's the servers they will reside on until we can transfer off if people want to. But if I remember correctly, especially Legacy status accounts won't be able to transfer right away, but I can't say for sure. I don't remember if it's just any character that was originally transferred to the Legacy server, or just the people that attained Legacy status, which was an entirely different campaign. But as you can see, they're also listed NA or EU. EU is better for people playing in the EU, but all these are hosted in the NA. They're hosted at the Montreal data center in Canada, so even the EU ones. So even if you're in EU, you're still going to have a bit of lag, unfortunately. But anyways, that's going to be it for this video. I'm actually going to create this character on a new realm, Zolera. And I'm just going to end the recording here. I'll actually, from this point, actually show the starting cutscenes, but that'll be in a separate video as well. So this has been Cerat, signing out, and I'll see y'all next time.